Move up to quality. Move up to Schlitz.
Move up to Schlitz.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Hi, boys and girls, it's me, and welcome to a second edition of Radio Succotash. Everything thrown together in one video, and things have gone on, maybe radio related, may not be radio related, but it's just all there, and it's all thrown into a pot cooked up for your enjoyment. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this, and let me start out with, I guess it's the last Radio Succotash, I guess, was just before Memorial Day. And we were invited, Miss RW and I were invited to go into a parade for Memorial Day, which was kind of nice. So we got together, and I actually met up with one of my friends. His name was Ed. And if you look here in the picture, this is an actual picture of us literally going down Main Street in a Memorial Day parade for the town I live in. And you can see Ed is on the right there. That's a '69 Chevy Kingswood Estate wagon. That's got a crate motor, crate 350 in it. It's a second motor. The car's got a lot of miles on it. So I'm not sure the history of the car or how that came about, but it's a nice car. I wouldn't mind having it. So it was kind of cool to have the two cars going side by side down the main street. And then the following day we got invited to the local VFW hall, and they had like a mini car show there. So we went there, and they had like a little barbecue thing, and you get hot dogs and hamburgers and sodas and ice cream. And it was actually pretty nice. So we got together with some car people that we know, and then we were getting ready to leave. Went back to the radio flyer, and I'm looking, and there was at least a cup to a pint of fuel on the ground right behind the driver's side door, but in the back door where the passenger would get in behind the driver. This big pull of gasoline, and I'm like, oh no, what's going on? Well, I was only about 6 blocks from my house, so let me just drive it home. And I jack up the car, and as you may remember, we went through all the effort. We pulled the gas tank out back in November, and we went through it, and I replaced the sending unit and the gasket and cleaned it all up and put it back together and back in the car. I'm thinking, oh no, now what's going on? Well, what happened was that on my car, the fuel pump is on the driver's side, and it's plumbed in. It goes down the length of the frame, and right where the gas was pouring out, right behind my door, or the passenger door behind me, the hard pipe ends, and then there's a hose that goes in there, a 5/16 fuel line, that goes in the frame, down the frame, over the hump where the differential and the axle is, goes back about a foot behind there, and then makes a quick 90-degree, and actually starts going out toward the fuel inlet, which is actually on the sending unit on the front of the tank. So my car is actually now, for you people that are well versed in cars, most station wagons, they usually have the tank on one side. Well, on my car, the tank is actually more like a conventional passenger car. That's where the location is, although the filler is on this side and it's not coming out the back behind the license plate like if the car was just a Skylark passenger car. So I snaked in another hose. I actually got about 6.5 feet or 7 feet of 5/16 fuel line hose, snaked it through the frame, boy, and that was just interesting. I was really nervous getting that through, but I got it through. And then when I changed the sending unit, I didn't think to check, but it had a 3/8 barb on the thing, and the original one that was on the card I took off was 5/16. So I had to plumb a length of 3/8 hose, and I grabbed some brass barbs. So I had a 5/16 barb on one side and a 3/8 barb on the other, and made like a little coupling and put that all together, and that solved the problem. And now the car seems happy and fine. And it was just kind of like a scary moment, because the last thing you want to see on the ground is high octane fuel, premium fuel, especially now in New Jersey, it's about $3.30 a gallon for premium, cheapest I could find anyway. So. Hi, boys and girls, and it's time for that exciting new game show, Does It Work? So today we have it here is a Halcrafters SX110, and it came home from a Hamfest, and the seller said, well, he's got some few little issues here. I don't know if that's even the right screw for that trim or not. Let me see, we can get a little bit of rust here, and looks like right here the previous owner had marked something there. So, you know, it kind of screams out with that eternal question, well, it worked the last time I used it. So, you know, who knows? Maybe there was a elderly woman who used this on Sundays to listen to Brother Stare before he died recently. So, who knows? Let's have a quick look at the chassis. Okay, the back of the chassis looks like it certainly have been used. Previous owner wrote down here where the antenna is, here. And then the speaker here, you know, you can either use a 3.2 ohm impedance speaker or a 500 ohm impedance speaker. And, oh, look what I got here, look. It even has a piece of leaf. Wow. You know, you can't beat that with a stick, huh? So, okay, in New Jersey, you know, they have those gambling apps you could put on your phone, and it says, you know, you can bet on sports teams or do sports betting and stuff. So, you know, we can't really do that here, but what we can do is you can put it in the comments, and I want to use the honor system. Think to yourself now, I'm going to actually hook this up, put it on Variac, we're going to try it. So ask yourself that question. After seeing what you've seen, does it work? Now, work defines it as, I'm going to put this guy in the broadcast band, and if it picks up one station, it's a player, okay? It may be tired, it may not look bad, it may look bad, but if it's actually playing a coherent AM station, we're going to consider this a player. So, trust and honor system, think about it, and then we're going to do this, and then leave your comments in for, you know, what you thought was going to happen. So, anyway, let me go hook it up. Okay, boys and girls, the Rayo is connected. It's just clip leaded to one side of my 40-meter dipole antenna, about 25 feet off the ground. We've got a 4-ohm car radio speaker and the power supply. So let me see here. Can I back out of here? Well, I can only go so far back. So I just want you to be able to at least see the part of the radio and the power supply. The radio is turned on. Oh no, it's not yet. Okay, we've got the radios turned on now. Let's see, we want, I guess, band 1 is the broadcast band, right? Okay, so we got that set up. Normal selectivity, AM. Yep, that should do it. Let's see, receive and standby, receive, and antenna trim, well, it is what it is. All right, let's start bringing up turn this on. Let's start putting on some juice. Okay. We're up to about 40 volts, 50 volts. Oh, now I do see a light. I do see a light. There's a slight dial light behind here. Okay. And we're going to keep going here. Drawing about 10 mils here, 60 volts, 70 volts, 75, 80. Let's let it sit for a second. God only knows how long it's been since this thing's been turned on. Okay. Let's keep going. 90 volts. Drawing about 30 mils right now. You can see from the picture that dial light's getting brighter. Oh!
The man behind the golden EIB microphone, a new podcast host that takes you behind the scenes for a look at the man who changed America as we know it. On iHeartRadio.
How you like that? It's picking up WR
by Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
at about 88 volts.
right now. Overcast skies this afternoon. Tonight,
bring it up to 110.
Down to 71. Your next update at 2 o'clock. Breaking news at once. Start with Glenn Berman and Michael Riedel in the morning, 6 till 10 weekdays. I'm James Flippin on 710 W. Dell. That's 877 calories.
Is there something that you
Wow.
can suggest in...
Okay, so if you said it's a player, then you won. You guessed correctly. During this little lapse here for last, I guess, month and a half or so since we've done Radio Succotash again, I have inherited some radios that belong to me, and what I'll do is I'll just take some pictures. I'm not going to sit here and just describe every radio, but I've actually picked up quite a number of radios for myself, and I don't know why, but it just happened. But here, I'll just take some pictures, and maybe I'll just talk over them in the pictures. Okay, this is a Zenith F615. It's a 6-tube Zenith radio. It's really deco looking. It's just really, let me give you an idea of the side. I don't know if this light's very good. There you go. Now you get a better idea of the color. It's a two-tone. This is like a slate blue, and this is like a sky blue or very, very light blue. Just a really nice looking radio. Here's a picture of the back. I'll turn this around. So here's the story on this. One of my friends gave me a similar radio that was actually beige and brown. It was in really, really rough shape. And I went to try to get the thing working, and it had silver mica disease. So I was going to try to fix it, but I couldn't get the can out from the chassis. It was literally soldered in 3 places on the chassis, and I couldn't get it out. And I just said, you know what, I'm spinning my wheels here on basically a parts radio. So about a week later or so, I came across this radio, and this guy was on eBay. And one of the cool things about it was I said, I like this color a little bit better. And it also played. I got this radio for a very reasonable number, I think, given the thing. And the only thing that, it was just dirty. This was very, very dirty. And I had to polish these guys up here. And you see on here, here, let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Here is the tuning knob. It's really nice. It's got vernier tuning, like so. Well, this little brass knob right, which is almost like what they have on the centers of the transoceanic knobs. Well, that one was missing on this radio. So I took that off of the other radio knob, and I glued it to this one. And this also had a black knob. Now, I don't know if that was correct for the radio or not. It was black, and then where this thing goes up and down here had a white inset. It looked kind of weird. So this was a chrome knob that was off the other radio. I put that on here. I think it looks a little bit nicer. So, I'm going to back this back out. So, the only thing I had to do to this was, I think there was a transconductance, excessive transconductance issue with the 35C5 output. So I replaced that, and believe it or not, the original caps are still good on here. This thing plays with no hum whatsoever. The .05 cap that goes to the ground of the chassis was probably, it was almost double in value. It wasn't that leaky. It was only 3%, but I replaced it anyway. And this guy is just a little DX machine. So I'm really, really happy with this, and it'll probably stay in my collection for a long time. So this is a Zenith J615. I'm not really sure of the year, but just really a nice radio. Really, like I said, very deco, and I'm really happy with it. Okay, this next radio is a radio that I've been looking for quite a long time. but I actually came across it and I had to have it, and I got the lens cover on the camera. And when I untake this cap off, I'm just going to warn you, you may get blinded by the color of the radio. You ready? There it is. This is a Zenith 5 tube with an RF section on it. Tube, battery, and AC radio. Now, I think they called this model the Santa Monica. I'm thinking this was 5758. I don't remember the model number on here. But the turquoise is just so cool. That color. Isn't that nice? So some of the features of this radio, it actually has a working dial light that runs off a AA battery. I had to turn this light off so you could probably see it a little bit. And you can probably just see the light coming on through by the knob and everything there. But it actually lights up the whole, it backlights the whole thing here. Now, a couple cool things about this radio is that I'm going to turn this on so you can hear it. Now, I actually have batteries in here right now. This will also run off electric. Up. My light is creating RF hell. There we go. Now I have it on 1010 winds out of New York. There's actually an antenna in here that's vertical, like where my finger is. The antenna is right here, and you can spin it with this control. Watch this.
I'm Greg Rice on 1010 winds.
So you could actually rotate the antenna here instead of grabbing their whole radio and doing that. Now, isn't that neat? Now, I'm going to turn the radio off because now you know it's already working in the player. I've gone through it. Selenium rectifier is gone, different dropping resistor. You know, the usual things you have to do with a battery AC set. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this radio and we'll lay it down like this. And this front cover will open up. Give me a second. And now you can see what I've done here. So here's the antenna that rotates. Now this was quite a feat to try to get the chassis out. So you can see the tubes are here, and basically the selenium rectifier and everything is up underneath it here. But I had to take this dial off to get the chassis out. And like a transoceanic, you can see, let me get my pointer, this is plugged in right here. So that's almost like your battery and AC switch. So what I've got doing here right now is I've got 10 nines. All right, I got 9 times 9 is here. No, I got one of these has 4 on it, I think. Or no, there's one off to the side. That's right. Yeah. So it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 1. So that makes up your B voltage. That's 90 volts there. And this is the cover for the original A battery, which was a 6-volt battery. And is this 6 or 9? Oh no, I'm sorry. This was a 9. So I've got the, let me see if it, I'm trying to remember if it was, yeah, it is 9 volts. Okay. So I've got 6 AA's stuffed in here to make the 9 volts. So again, here's the dial light here. So you flick that on, and then you have here it's clear, so it almost works like a light amplifier here. And it's a pretty neat little radio. So, you know, not a great big speaker, but it sounds okay. And with the extra RF stage, it's all right. Now, I have a radio that's got another 5-tuber that's battery AC with a 1L6. This radio does not have the 1L6. I forget which tube it is in here, but the first tube is a 1R5. All right. So it's not quite as good as the other one because the other one also has a tuned RF, but this is still respectable. And the thing that really makes it pop is the color. You just gotta love the color of this radio. So it's just really neat looking.
Chance of thunderstorms and a high 88. It's 70. Humidity 90%. Winds north.
It's got vernier tuning too, so.
Current temperature 70 degrees. Winds news time 6:06.
So I was very, very happy to find this. So this is another radio that I got. All right, I think that should be enough for now. So, hey, I hope everybody enjoyed what you saw and things going on there. You know, please, give it a thumbs up if you like what you saw, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'm curious to see what the radio guesses were, whether that Hallicrafters was going to fire up or not. It was kind of interesting because sometimes when you buy these old radios, the classic line is, "It worked the last time I used it." So I figured it'd be fun just to take this kind of a semi-tired but restorable radio and to see if it's just going to fire up right out of the box, and it did. So that was kind of cool. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll catch you hopefully very, very soon. So take care and stay safe. Bye-bye. Hi, boys and girls. It's me. And it's that time again. It's time for another